be a symbolic move, but what impact does it have when recess is over? How damaging is this for the already fragile coalition at this juncture?
Well, it's mostly meaningless because it's the Knesset break right now anyway, so there are no votes at the Knesset. What we have to understand is that Ra'am had to do something symbolic because, of course, the violence is on the Temple Mount, and at the end of the day, Ra'am is an Islamic party. But Mansour Abbas doesn't really completely rule his party. I mean, he has other members in his party, doesn't really control. And we have to understand that Ra'am doesn't have any interest in early elections because Mansour Abbas took a very courageous move by deciding to join a coalition and trying to improve the daily life of his constituents instead of just dealing with rhetoric like the other Arab parties. But he has to show results to his voters, and those results you cannot show after 10 months in government. So he has no interest in going for the elections. So he's making this symbolic move because the Temple Mount is very important to this Islamic party. But as I said, the last thing in the world he needs right now is early election.
And very briefly, talking about the Temple Mount, as we mentioned earlier in this broadcast, Israel, a short while ago, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs hitting back at Jordan about its comments. What do you make from a diplomatic point of view of a spat right now between Jordan and Israel on this issue?
Look, it's very disappointing to hear a Jordanian official, the Prime Minister, make these very irresponsible statements based on propaganda. I mean, there's no Israeli aggression, and especially as in the past few weeks there have been official visits of Israeli officials to Jordan, including the president. Having Jordan making such irresponsible statements really raises doubt about Jordan's role as a central actor in the region. How can Jordan play such a double game, talking about normalization with Israel and then inciting to violence in such a sensitive situation? It's very disappointing from the Jordanian government and from the monarch.
Dr. Emmanuel Navon, always appreciate your insights at this time. Thank you for being here.